So good morning once again, and Happy New Year to you, to all of you here who are attending this session. And I'm not able to recognize the participant by the name of iPhone 2. Can you just write in the chat box or unmute and introduce yourself? Okay, no response as such. Okay.
I'm Lata.
Okay, Lata ji, thank you. Thank you for introduction. Okay, all right. Okay, so Happy New Year to all of you. Meena-ji is also joined. Rajvin is also joined. Good. Okay, we are good to start. So good energy is being built up. All right. Okay. All right. So today we are going to talk on, the topic today? Anyone?
Yes. Why New Year resolutions fail?
Okay. All right. Yes, of course. Why New Year's resolution fail? Of course. हर साल हम resolution बनाते हैं, but वो साल शुरू होते होते ही मतलब within the same month itself our resolution drop down होने लगते हैं. Right. So मैंने सोचा, I thought that let's find out and let's interact with you and let's discuss with you why this New Year resolutions जो हम बनाते हैं हर साल क्यों fail हो जाते हैं? Where are we lacking? What are the reasons? What are those things which we can do little better? क्या क्या हम कर सकते हैं जो हम अगर करें or we have the potential to do it, and then we can keep those resolutions, right? All right. So welcome everyone. So I straight away go. And let's make this session 40-45 minutes जो हम ये discuss करते हैं. Let's make it more interactive, right? I've designed the session accordingly so that it can be interactive, right? So this should not be a monologue, right? You all agree that monologue will not give no excitement as far as the presenter is concerned, and also you as you are learning or we are discussing. So let's be more interactive. Although you're off video, no issues, but be interactive. All right. Is it a commitment? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay. So I'll share my screen. All right. So here it comes. It's loading. Yes. All right. You're able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So why New Year resolutions fail? Right? We have 365 days a year, 8760 hours, right? We resolve ourselves to quit something, to start something, or to change something, or to learn something, or plan something. But by the end of the year, or even the start of the month itself, we start quitting, right? And we also don't know that how it is slipping from our resolution plans, right? So let us take it forward and let us one by one हम इसको डिस्कस करते हैं कि क्या साइकोलॉजी क्या है, व्हाई न्यू ईयर रेजोल्यूशन फेल, इसकी साइकोलॉजी क्या है, कहाँ पे हम लैक करते हैं, कहाँ पे हमें और कहीं कोई कुछ जरूरत है, हमें कहीं पुश की जरूरत है, क्या मोटिवेशन की जरूरत है, एंड व्हाट वी डू इट. सो लेट्स स्ट्रेट अवे go into the slide 1, New Year resolutions, right? So I'm sure that every one of you have certain kind of resolutions जो हम चाहते हैं कि हम इस साल में पूरा करें, या whatever your desires, dreams, hobbies, whatever, you know. So when the clock strikes midnight signaling the start of the new year, right, all have committed themselves to a New Year resolutions, or most of them, right? And most of them, they feel that this is the right time to make new beginning or something like that, right? So whether it is to lose weight or get out of debt or pursue a coveted hobby or socialize more or whatever, जो भी आपको लगता है. So making for most of us, making New Year resolutions is a part of the festivities or part of the ritual, आप कह सकते हो, that we all do it. Most of us do it, right? And with so many people committing to goals for the new year, the optimism, the excitement, the change can happen in the air, right? So वो atmosphere ऐसा होता है, वो environment ऐसा होता है कि हमारा ये थॉट होता है कि लेट्स बिगिन दिस ईयर with some new things which we want to pursue further all during the year, right? But the reality is, however, that over 90% of the newer resolutions will be abandoned within just a few months. मैंने just a few months लिखा है, but by the end of first month itself, that means जनवरी के एंड होते होते ही ये 90% जो है वो ड्रॉप आउट हो जाते हैं, right? Would you agree with that, yes or no?
Yes, yes,
All right.
yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the response. Okay. Now, data क्या कहता है? Data on New Year resolutions. Let's look into the data. And I will give this data, and based on this data is based on the research done, right? And मैं आपको ये भी बताऊंगा कि 2024 में क्या resolutions, लोगों ने क्या क्या resolutions किए हैं, इस पर क्या trending है, right? क्या trending है, जिस पे क्या trending resolutions हैं जो लोग करना चाह रहे हैं 2024 में. So data on New Year resolutions, one widely quoted statistics note that 92% of the people don't follow what they have decided as far as the resolutions are concerned, their New Year resolutions are concerned. 92%, that's a major percentage. 92% people don't follow what they define or decide about the resolution कि ये मुझे करना है, ये चीजें करनी है, right? So this is a fact. Another showed 80% of the people give up their resolution by the second week of February. 80% जो है एक महीने के अंदर they give it up, right? And they are totally back on square one. All right. And the third study identified that 88% of those who set newer resolutions, even in the 20% were confident, 52% were confident of their success in the beginning. जो 88% जो फेल होते हैं, उसमें से 52% ऐसे थे जो वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट थे इन द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द ईयर कि हम इसको अचीव कर लेंगे. इट्स अ हाई परसेंटेज ऑफ ड्रॉप आउट्स, राइट? 88% जो है, जिन्होंने ये कहा, उसमें से 52% लोग ऐसे हैं जो कि ये कॉन्फिडेंट थे, राइट? और 88% जो वो उसमें से वो फेल हुए. One identified that 25% of the people ditch their goals in the first week itself. पहले वीक में ही 25% लोग अपने गोल्स को डिच कर देते हैं, राइट? तो पहला वीक में ही मतलब वो धरातल पे वापस बैक टू स्क्वायर वन, right? We will see how it happens, why it happens, what is the psychology behind it, and what can be the remedies. How हम कैसे प्लान कर सकते हैं, या क्या क्या वो चीजें हैं जो हम उस अपनी अवेयरनेस लेवल को कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं, right? So we'll see accordingly in this session. I will ask you some questions. Give me this energy to interact. तो बीच में हम कुछ questions पूछेंगे और interact करने की कोशिश करेंगे. So be ready for that. तो ये डेटा की बात करें. So डेटा की अगर हम बात करें, the fact is, regardless of which studies are right, जो भी studies आप उठा के देख लो, कौन सी स्टडी ठीक है कौन सी नहीं है, whatever. So if you don't go into that as well, we can all agree. एक पॉइंट पे हम ये एग्री कर सकते हैं या हैं, we can all agree that an overwhelming conclusion is that most people do not follow through their New Year resolutions. This is a fact. This is a fact, and you will all agree with that, right? So बहुत सारे लोग 92% अभी मैंने बात की, तो high percentage of dropout in terms of their New Year resolutions, right? Now, अभी I've just given you a data. Now in 2024, this is just to give you a perspective that कौन से ऐसे resolutions जो लोग बनाते हैं उसका status क्या है, और 2024 की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. We just started 2024, only 2 days are there. अभी 2 दिन बीते हैं. तो सर्वे फ्रॉम फोर्ब्स हेल्थ का एक सर्वे हुआ है अभी, बिल्कुल लेटेस्ट सर्वे. दिस इज द लेटेस्ट सर्वे, राइट? एंड द जो भी यहाँ पे आई एम शेयरिंग इट, द डेटा, इट्स क्वाइट new. So the survey highlighted a couple of standout themes in this 2024 का जब ये कर रहे थे. The most commonly selected New Year resolution for 2024 among respondents were fitness. Fitness एक, which फिटनेस का जो है वो रेजोल्यूशन वो सबसे ज्यादा निकला है, which contrast the finding from the previous year. प्रीवियस ईयर से ये जो है प्रीवियस ईयर से बिल्कुल अलग है या बिल्कुल अपोजिट आया है इस बार, कि फिटनेस को लोगों ने बहुत ज्यादा थीम को फाइंड आउट किया है अपने रेजोल्यूशन में. द प्रीवियस फोर्ब्स सेल्फ सर्वे इन 2022 जो किया था 23 के लिए जब हुआ था, showed that many people were interested in prioritizing their mental health rather than the physical health in their resolution of 2023. So last year जब 2023 का जब डेटा आ रहा था तो उसमें मेंटल हेल्थ की प्रायोरिटी थी, इस बार फिटनेस की प्रायोरिटी है, राइट. सो इसको देखिए आगे क्या कहता है. ओवरऑल 48% of people, yes, 48% of people say improving fitness is a top priority, as I shared in the beginning statement. 48% of people say improving fitness is a top priority in 2024, while 36% cite improved mental health as a top resolution. So we can say that 36% जो mental health और 48% जो है ये fitness. So कहीं ना कहीं physical और mental health की बात लोग कर रहे हैं इस साल, right, which is a very, very important thing. Now 55% of the people are saying the physical and mental health are equal importance, right? So see how these mental health and physical health has become very, very important in our life, right? uh, More people cite improved fitness as a top resolutions, 48%, as I said. So compared to अगर हम कंपेयर करें तो सबसे ऊपर हमारा फिटनेस का रेजोल्यूशन आ रहा है, कंपेयर टू इम्प्रूव फाइनेंसेस का रेजोल्यूशन 38%, इम्प्रूव मेंटल हेल्थ 36%, एज आई शेयर्ड, weight loss 34%, and improved diet 32%. This is the data for your reference, right? Because why I'm sharing this data? Because the data gives us the insights that what are the trends happening, how the people are behaving, what are the behavior of the people all across the globe, right? So especially अगर हम बात करें तो women 36% and men 36% equally cite improved mental health as their top resolution. So mental और physical health जैसे आप ये reflect हो रहा है इस data में कि that become top priority for both the genders for 2024. However, women are more likely to focus on fitness in 2024 compared to men. 42, slight 10% का फर्क है. So women are more interested in fitness rather than the men. And 20% of the respondents say they keep themselves accountable when it comes to sticking to their goal. 20% लोग ऐसे थे जो कि they say that they keep themselves accountable, right? The 80% लोगों ने accountable नहीं शो किया अपने goals के लिए. This is a massive drop compared to last year's survey, right? For which last year में 77% were respondent were accountable. So this in 2024 का सर्वे जो आया है इसमें सिर्फ 20% of the respondents say they keep themselves accountable for their goals. So massive dropout. So that means that न्यू ईयर रेजोल्यूशंस लोग बनाते हैं लेकिन उसके लिए वो खुद ही अकाउंटेबल नहीं फील करते हैं, राइट? So I think this is a massive dropout. It's a very concerning trend, right? We should, as a coach and a trainer, or I'll appeal to all the training people in training fraternity would be to look into the data and find out what are the reasons and how it can be improved, right? Because these are the trends. Okay, so this is the statistics of 2024 latest, right? So I thought to share with you this data because it will give you a perspective to maybe understand better and to make your resolutions better. All right, so new year resolutions की जब हम बात कर रहे हैं तो most common जो न्यू ईयर रेजोल्यूशंस हैं अगर हम उसको देखें in 2024, right? So what is the first is the improved fitness, as I said in my earlier slide. So just a brief summary for that. Improved fitness is 48%, improved finances is 38%, improved mental health is 36%, losing weight is 34%, improved diet is 32%, right? So improved fitness का percentage सबसे ज्यादा निकल के आया है. Or this is the most common New Year resolutions in 2024. And now we'll see what is the less New Year resolutions going to be in 2024. So less popular resolutions include uh, traveling more has only 6%, right? And then meditating regularly. Just see, 5% of the people just only wants meditation in 2024, right? Meditating regularly, 5%. And ये data Forbes का data है, so it's a very authentic data. So meditating regularly, 5%. Drinking less alcohol, only 3%, right? So I think people want to consume more alcohol. And performing better at work, only 3%. So just see how the percentage in single digits, that is the less popular resolutions, are in 2024. So we can very well understand the where we are heading for. All right. Okay. So less popular resolutions for that. So now, why do we make New Year resolutions? हम बनाते ही क्यों हैं? Why do we make New Year resolutions? हमें जरूरत क्या है New Year resolutions बनाने की? So let's go into that psychology also, right? Because न्यू ईयर ऐसा होता है कि एक नई बिगनिंग होती है, एक नया साल शुरू हो रहा होता है, तो वी आर मोर एक्साइटेड, वी आर मोर ऑप्टिमिस्टिक, राइट? सो लेट्स सी व्हाट आर द थिंग्स जो कि हमें प्रॉम्प्ट करती हैं कि हम न्यू ईयर रेजोल्यूशंस बनाएं. व्हाई डू वी मेक न्यू ईयर रेजोल्यूशंस? जब हम अकाउंटेबल ही नहीं है, जब हम कर ही नहीं पाते, तो हम बनाते क्यों है पहले? तो व्हाट इट इज ऑल अबाउट दैट टर्निंग ऑफ द कैलेंडर ईयर दैट मेक्स अस स्पेशली लाइकली टू कमिट टू बिग गोल्स. और बड़े बड़े गोल्स बनाते हैं हम, बड़े बड़े गोल्स बनाते हैं. और द न्यू ईयर इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर रिफ्लेक्शन. एज मैंने जो लास्ट सेशन लिया था तो मैंने रिफ्लेक्शन की बात की थी, राइट? सो न्यू ईयर जो और कमिंग नियर टू द न्यू ईयर इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर रिफ्लेक्शन, no doubt about it. So a new year represents a fresh start and people need something significant and those moment to refresh, right? So that is the psychology, that is why they are making resolution. एक fresh start है, एक नई beginning हो रही है, right? So लोग समझते हैं they are excited, they are very optimistic, they want to go ahead in life, they want to achieve their dreams or something. So a new year represents a fresh start. When something comes to an end, तो एक जगह कुछ खत्म हो रहा होता है, तो एक जगह कुछ शुरू भी हो रहा होता है. तो when something comes an end, it is an opening to a new beginning also. All right. And since everyone in the world experience the new year in the same time, right? So it's a kind of an energy, it's a kind of a moment that many people around us are looking back to the old year and thinking how to improve their life in the coming year. Right. So that is the idea, that is the psychology behind we make the resolutions, right? So consequently, the desire to make resolution can be especially strong at this point of time, at this period of time. So we come to that that state of mind that let's do our ritual, or maybe whatever you call it. Right. So let's sit down, let's write down your New Year resolutions. Right. So that is the psychology behind. एक excitement, एक optimism होता है. So we do this way and we start making New Year resolutions. So that's how. ये तो हमने why की बात करी. Now, as I said, कि let's discuss, let's interact. हम जितने भी लोग यहाँ पे हैं, एक एक करके yeah, whatever you feel like interacting, I'll throw you some points, I'll throw you some questions, right? And let us discuss on amongst ourselves that what has been your idea of New Year resolutions, right? So let's interact. It will also give me energy in order to maybe find out some more reasons and why we drop out as far as our resolutions are concerned. So the first question to the people is, right, was the last year a good year for you? What were some of its highlights? So briefly we can discuss. You can unmute or send in a chat box, right? So what was the last year, जो 2023 गया आपके लिए? What was the last year a good year for you? अच्छा था, क्या अच्छा था अगर अच्छा था तो, and what was the sum of its highlights? So anybody would like to unmute and would like to share? Anyone? Meena ji, Vasan ji.
Sandeep,
Yeah, tell me.
Sandeep ji, good morning, Sat
Good
Shri
morning.
Akal,
Sat Shri Akal ji.
and as I would say,
Yeah,
that the last year was a good year for me.
good.
But July to from August to September, I had
Hmm.
health problems,
Mm-hmm.
which uh, is under control now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But the main highlight is I got to join back the pageant,
Okay. Good.
and we are going to be uh, we are going to be having our grand finals.
Okay.
So and I'm going to perform a dance.
Oh, very nice. Very good.
Yes, Sharara dance.
Okay.
It's 1 minute, and yesterday I've got last year I've ordered the wheelchair, so yesterday I've gotten it.
Hmm.
I'm going to practice it, and no one's going to push me around so much anymore.
Okay. All right.
So
Good.
I just hope that whatever title I win it with, and then I get not only online, but I get more media exposure.
Very good. All right. Okay. So your year till July was not that great, but after that it was good, right? So it's kind of a mixed bag for you, right?
Yeah, and then it also from not July. July was okay,
Okay. All
but
right.
after my nephew went,
Mm-hmm.
so because after that I wanted to go
Hmm.
to the teacher training course for laughter yoga,
Okay.
and it didn't materialize last
Mm-hmm.
year.
Mm-hmm.
So I got very upset.
Mm-hmm.
So then for 14th,
Hmm.
my boss called me back for orientation.
Okay.
I went to see the orientation, and I went to see the workshops.
Mm-hmm.
I filled up a form till grand finals.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am. And after this, I've got 1 year contract for media exposure
Mm-hmm.
until the next grand finals.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that was some of the highlights you mentioned. So good, good that you are pursuing your path, and good that you and what is. So I'll come next to the let the other participants also speak. All right, Shabana ji, Lata ji, Meena ji.
Yeah, I can speak. Yeah.
Yeah, please share.
So last year I should say was mixed.
Mhm.
But my main problem is that I always plan to do a lot of things.
Okay.
I started, but then I don't do it the way I really wanted to grow. Like
Okay.
I,
Okay.
I teach English conversation.
Okay.
Now there are many people who are just following up. Please take us in your classes. Please take us in your classes. There's people lined up, but I'm
Mhm.
not really putting in effort to take them in
Okay.
because like because I have to arrange more batches and things like that.
Okay.
I mean that's what I just procrastinate on a lot of things.
Okay.
Like I joined the Council India course for
Mm-hmm.
counseling.
Okay, good.
Then I'm not following that up
Mhm.
as well, not doing my assignments so regularly or revising.
Mm,
So I'm joining things, right?
mm, mm.
Whatever is forced upon me, I do only that much, and the
Okay.
rest I just refuse to. Like I do music, I do my music classes. Even that I'm missing. And
Okay.
so July onwards, actually I fell sick.
Mm,
So I saw that I was not being able to do much. So
mm-hmm.
that also caused low feeling or depression in me because that sickness kept
Mm-hmm.
me away from a lot of things. So
Okay.
now again I have come back to my yoga, my English classes and everything properly.
Okay.
But
Okay.
still I feel I procrastinate a lot. I
Okay.
don't manage my time well. So I would
Okay.
say that last year didn't go, it went okay, But
Mhm.
otherwise, I should say part of it went okay and part of it didn't go okay because things were not working as per my plan.
Okay.
Number one, procrastination, and number two, I was not well.
All right. Okay. Very, very, very honest sharing. Thanks for sharing that, Lataji. In fact, it's good. It's good to be proactive. Okay. All right. Good. All right. So who will just share next? Anyone else? Meena ji, Vasant ji would like to share anything on the last year? Was it good for you, mixed bag or bad, whatever, whatever feeling, whatever interaction, whatever discussion, whatever points come in your mind. Neelam ji. Haji Meena ji, good to see
Yeah.
you on your camera. Yeah.
Okay. Today I'm not feeling that great, but
Not an
still I
issue.
wanted to attend your session.
Sure, sure. Thank
Well,
you.
just wanted to say, yeah, some type of a spinning and vertigo type of onset.
Okay,
It's
okay.
okay. Still, I wanted to say, really good year. I must say,
Mm.
last year I
Mhm.
didn't have any very concrete or very solid resolutions, so I cannot compare with that. But
Okay.
other than that, lots of travel, lots of learning, and
Mhm.
there's so many good platforms. And number one is consciously positive. And
Okay.
I was really inspired by people who volunteer their time, give their 100% as a speaker.
Mhm.
I'm not talking about participants, how much they
Right,
reciprocate, but
right.
this. And one thing I realized, universe really multiplies what you're looking for. And
Absolutely.
I got to hear so many speakers on spirituality and improvement and coaching and all. So really inspiring.
Mm.
And also against all resistance, I was able to come for this commitment and
Mm.
standing tall in my own truth. I
Mm.
started speaking out what I really, really believe, not
Mm.
being diplomatic, not being conformist, which is a big change in me. Like
Right.
this is what I'm celebrating. Many
Great.
good, many 95%, I would say, really, really good.
Mm.
Some family people we lost due to some reason, and
Mhm.
that hurt
Mhm.
me. But then I've accepted that death is just a change of state of
Right.
body, not the soul. So
Right.
dealing with that pretty okay.
Right.
Other than that, very good. This year also, my goals are very generic, like full
Mm.
spectrum well-being. I
Mm.
don't say my weight should be this, my
Mm.
like all these things, very specific goals. I think
Mm.
people slip up, but
Mm.
generic also helps.
Mm.
Then you are not
Mm.
feeling guilty about it.
Mhm.
What we
Mm.
could do, celebrate the accomplishment rather than the
Right.
things that we could not celebrate. This is my take.
Okay. All right. Great. Great sharing. Great sharing. I'm really very grateful for all of you who are sharing. All right. Okay. All right. Good to interact. And okay, Shabana ji, what was yours?
Uh, Thank you, Sandeep. Mine was also good, but it is like, I think it was mixed, but then of course it was busy year, so a lot of
Mhm.
things.
Mm.
There were quite a few travel and many things that we planned.
Mm.
We actually did, so
Mm.
that was good.
Okay.
And yeah, but of course, nothing gets completely complete, so
Mm.
we are still trying to,
Right.
do. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good. All right. So it was a mixed bag for a couple of people. It was good for some of them. Okay. All right. So if I ask you what wasn't good about this year, last year, in fact, for you, what wasn't good about this year, the 2023? Yeah. अगर आपको specific में बोलना पड़े, तो क्या अच्छा नहीं हुआ? क्या अच्छा नहीं हुआ? जैसे रजवी ने बताया कि जुलाई तक उसकी हेल्थ का इशू रहा, मे बी जून तक कुछ ऐसा था, कुछ अच्छा नहीं हुआ, right? Just a kind of a reflection, maybe in a one sentence or two or whatever, जैसे लता जी ने बताया कि she was not well, right? And she kept on delaying things, right? Anything, if I call it little negative things which happened, right? Anybody, anyone, जिन्होंने अभी तक नहीं बोला है, वसंत जी, नीलम जी. All right, no answers. Anyway, all right. So let's move ahead. Okay. So next is, did you achieve any goals in the past year? And did you keep your resolutions that was made in the beginning? So मेरा question आपसे ये है, yes or no में जवाब दीजिएगा, or maybe if you want to elaborate in a sentence or two, I don't mind that, right? So क्या आपने last year जो 2023 में आपने कोई past year में कोई goals बनाए थे, कोई resolutions बनाए थे अपने new year resolution? Yes or no? Anyone? Rajwin? Lata ji?
Not really, actually.
Okay.
I just thought as it's everything is going to move the way I had planned before.
Okay. All
So
right.
let it continue similarly. I mean,
Okay.
if that continues well, I thought I was happy.
Okay. So
If I could achieve those. Yeah.
okay. So past year, you not at a specific any goal were not met, right?
Yeah, yes.
All right.
It's just that I was, whatever I was doing, I thought I
Hmm.
should continue that well.
Okay.
And since I was procrastinating, so I thought, okay, if I
Mhm.
don't procrastinate and these things move well, I'm happy with it.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So coming forward, let us see. Have you made any new resolutions? So said किसी ने बनाया, किसी ने नहीं बनाया. So uh, what do you intend to do differently next year? Is there anything which you would like to do in this year which could be different from the last year? Anything would you like to do it little different or different things this year? Shubhana ji?
Yeah, I think I agree with your survey as well. So this this year, we have the resolution of getting fit,
Okay.
which was
Alright.
not there yet last year, I think.
Right. Okay. All right. So you made this kind of a resolution that this year you're going to be more fitter, right? Okay. So that's your intention.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do you make your New Year resolutions? जब आप resolution बनाते हो, New Year resolution, do you write them down or you tell your intention to other people? What do you do? I am asking to the entire group. कैसे बनाते हो आप? लिखते हो या आप शो करते हो इंटेंट अपना दूसरों से बात करके? How do you do it? Do you write them actually or you just show the intention? What is
No, we
your
don't write actually. And
okay?
I always feel that's a real negative point because we don't write. Actually, we should write.
Right.
One is we should write. And yes, at times I do express with family because I have a lot of dreams which I wanted to do, which are unfulfilled. But then the thing is that I don't have that courage to kickstart it. That's the thing. I
Okay.
always think somebody would do it for me and then I would continue. So it's like that.
Okay. Thank
So
you
the
again
first
for
step someone has to take for me. I may help me out and then I would work on it.
all right. So you need little bit of push. You need some kind of a
Yes.
hand holding, and you usually don't write a resolution. You speak in the family sometimes that I want to do this, that, something like that, right?
Yeah, the only thing I write is gratitude. I don't write
Okay, very good.
any
Very good.
resolution.
This is a very good practice, by the way. It's a very good practice. Keep continuing that. And as far as the goals or New Year resolutions are concerned, if you write them, it's good, right? But being aware, why writing? Writing is always give you that kind of awareness, like you're talking to me today, right? So you're being aware. You are already aware. But it is coming into your this perspective that मैंने नहीं बनाया अभी तक, तो क्या ये मैं बना सकती हूँ? जैसे आपने अभी बोला that can I make it maybe going forward, maybe this year, right? So that'll give you little more impact in achieving your goals and dreams, right? So it's all about that. Okay, all right. So good. So idea for this questions was that to understand from you that what are your thought process in terms of New Year resolutions. That is one. Plus, how do you look forward for the next year? Everybody looks forward for achieving their dreams or goals or whatever, right? But somehow or the other, that as Lataji says, some kind of either you get back to the old habits, right? And then it takes you to back to square one. So वो दोबारा से वहाँ शुरुआत करनी पड़ती है, and then we somewhere lose track of our goals, right? We lose track of our goals because as we don't write usually those goals and resolutions, right? So it's very easy to be distracted, It's easy to be distracted in other activities and all these things, and then we all kind of mundane routine and everything, then we lose track of everything. We lose track of our resolutions, we track of our goals, we track of our dreams, lose track of our dreams. So it's all happening at the same time, and you are, as I said, back to square one, that you never were there actually, right? In spite of you being, your intention was right, your thought process was right, but something or the other, or maybe you didn't feel accountable for your own goals, right? Maybe it's good idea to find out accountability partner, right? So that's the idea of this kind of a discussion, and I'm very happy that you people are interacting, and as you are interacting, it's the benefit of yours. It's the benefit of yours because you are getting aware as we interact. Okay, all right. So let's move ahead. Okay, so why resolutions fail? That's the main topic of the session, right? अभी तक जो मैं बात कर रहा था वो एक पर्सपेक्टिव आपको लेके आने था. अब the crux is, the matter is that why resolution fail. That is the main thing to discuss or main thing to find out कि ये resolution fail क्यों हो जाते हैं, right? एक तो हम बनाते हैं और लेकिन हमारे या तो हम पीछे इसलिए छूट जाते हैं कि हम उसको ट्रैक नहीं रख पा रहे, या कुछ प्लानिंग में गलती है, कहाँ पे हम लैग कर रहे हैं, राइट? क्यों? तो we'll take one by one and I'll give you certain things which is again for the matter of the awareness, कि आपको पता लगेगा कि ये चीजें हम कर रहे हैं, and unconsciously, consciously, whatever, subconsciously we are doing it, right? So number one, unfortunately, optimism की बात करी थी मैंने भी when we started this session, right? So unfortunately, optimism alone won't result in the change we want. Right? That's very, very sure, right? Optimism alone cannot be the change what we want. The reality is that there are a number of things about the way we make New Year resolutions that set up for failure before even we have started, right? So बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी हैं जो कि जब हम ये बनाते हैं अब तो फेलियर हमारा पहले ही डिटरमाइन माइंड हो जाता है, बिकॉज स्टार्ट करने से पहले ही we are in that stage कि it is going to fall flat, right? That is the reality. Number of things we start doing it, the way we make new resolutions, the way we interpret things, the way we manifest things, maybe we do in a wrong way, something like that. So that is the unfortunate situation. Now it will, the resolution, why resolution fail, let's discuss more onto that. So number one thing is we are thinking too big.
So can we see the previous slide once more?
Just a second. Yeah, this one. This one you wanted, right?
Yeah.
So the reality is that a number of things about the way we make New Year resolution that set up itself for failure before we even started. So जब हमने start किया ही नहीं, उससे पहले ही we have set up ourselves for a failure, right? All right. Now going ahead, we are thinking too big. When I'm saying we are thinking too big, that means one of the biggest issue with New Year resolution is that they often revolve around huge changes, like we always take मुझे ये सारी चीजें करनी है, right? Excitement में और whatever, wherever, ये चाहे मेरे को ये change करना, मेरे को ये change करना, मेरे को eating habit change करनी है, like adjusting our eating habits, getting more sleep, or becoming fluent in a new language, right? Lata ji will resonate with this particular thing because she is an English teacher. So one of the biggest issue with New Year resolution, that's often, right? Most of the time, it's हम चाहते हैं कि बहुत सारे changes इकट्ठे कर लें, right? Adjusting to new, ये भी कर लें, वो भी कर लें, वो भी कर, बहुत सारी चीजें हम एक साथ करना चाहते हैं और बड़ी करना चाहते हैं. We are thinking too big, right? And where we go wrong with the New Year resolution is that this idea that is something has to be big, sweeping change हमको करना है, no, and वो हमको perfect करना है, right? That sounds kind of a perfect. So we come into the perfectionism kind of a mode, right? कि ये न्यू रेजोल्यूशन बनाया है, सो समथिंग बिग हैज टू हैपन, और हम ये चेंज करके रख देंगे, राइट? सो स्वीपिंग चेंज की बात करते हैं हम, यू नो, व्हेन वी आर मेकिंग रेजोल्यूशंस नाउ. बट एज ह्यूमंस, let's understand, but as humans we are not wired to make big sweeping changes, right? So why to make sweeping changes? First of all, why to think that we will change it altogether, right? Why to go into that perfectionism mode, right? So this is we are not, we are humans, we let's be practical, let's be real. So wherever you feel that new resolutions आप बना रहे हो, तो let us be real and वही goals लो जो आपके realistic में आप achieve कर सकते हो, right? And I'll tell you that that what can be the process or something. So as humans we are not wired to make sweeping changes. In order to change a behavior, it will take time. You have to be uncomfortable, and nobody wants to be uncomfortable. That's a fact, right?
So true.
So in
So
order,
true.
right? So हमने behavior change करना है, तो अनकंफर्टेबलनेस तो सहनी पड़ेगी ना, राइट? बट हम लोग चाहते ही नहीं है कि हम अनकंफर्टेबल हो. वी ऑलवेज वांट टू बी इन द कंफर्ट जोन, एंड व्हेन यू आर इन अ कंफर्ट जोन, then how your resolution will be achieved, right? So it's a fact. Now people tend to set new year resolution that are really big, as I said, and they might not be achievable, but there are probably 30 steps. वो पूरा प्रोसेस होगा, उससे पहले 30 40 50 स्टेप्स ऐसे होंगे. दे नीड टू टेक एक्शन बिफोर दे एक्चुअल कम इनटू रियलाइजेशन कि मुझे ये गोल अचीव करना है, मुझे ये ड्रीम अचीव करना है, या मुझे ये चीज जो है अपनी लाइफ में लेके आनी है. I need to adopt certain new things in my life, in my daily life, right? So we are not actually preparing ourselves in advance, right? And then we write, or either write or don't write or whatever, or intention, तो वो intention तो है. So intentions are there, but we are not fully prepared for going ahead with that kind of a resolution. ये awareness होनी बहुत जरूरी है. The moment you get this kind of awareness that yes, now I am prepared, now I am okay to go ahead with this kind of a goal, let's make that goal, right, and achieve it, right? So that is why, if the prime reason is for to get a what you call failure in new year resolution or resolution, is we are thinking too big, right? And let's move ahead. What is the second reason? Your goals are not self-defined. हमारे goals जो होते हैं वो they are not self-defined. किसी ने कह दिया कि you are good at this, right? I am good at this. मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूं. My friend, मेरे near and dear, मेरी family, they're saying you're good at this, but just find out that आप किस पे अच्छे हो, किस में अच्छे हो, right? So वो कह दिया आपने, और you are good at this, so कहने से नहीं हो जाता. Now external pressure, because somebody else want you to do it, somebody else wants you to do it, right? So introjected guilt, because you would feel ashamed, guilty or anxious if you don't or you don't do that. So आप वो goal बना लेते हो, right? So that's the external things which are giving you influence in terms of defining your goals. So your goals are not self-defined. They are being influenced by some external factor. It can be friends, it can be family, it can be anybody, right? And you feel that you will be ashamed or you will be guilty if you don't achieve this or if you don't do it, right? So that's the other one. Now you are significantly more likely to achieve your goals if it is self-defined. जो आपका पैशन है, अगर आप वो परस्यू कर रहे हो, right? So you are more likely to achieve your goals, right? So that's how. Now in the same perspective, now what are you identifying? It is something you really believe in, that is important goal to you have, जो जिसमें आप believe करते हो. Let's have that kind of a goal, no? But you are making the goal, but somewhere or something is lacking in terms of your belief, right? So you're making the so वो identification you are somewhere, you are doing it here, doing it there, you're not sure, right? So not being able to identify. So it's something you really believe that is important goal. So that's to have. Now the fun and enjoyment which the goal will provide is the primary reason for having it, right? You need to enjoy that kind of a achievement in fulfilling that goal, isn't it? आप पूरी journey enjoy करोगे. So the fun and enjoyment which the goal will provide is the primary reason for having it, and you are simply interested in the experience itself, right? So that is how हमारा alignment हमारे goals के साथ नहीं होता है, right? So your goals are not self-defined either. They are too vast, as I said. We think too big sometimes, or most of the times, right? And we fall flat. And our goals are not self-defined, and we are not aligning with our goals. So how can it be achieved, right? So that's the second other important reason why our resolutions fail. All right, let's move forward. Your list of resolution itself is all wrong. जो resolution आपने बनाए हैं, that list itself is all wrong. How? Now you have set too many goals. एक तो alignment नहीं है goals में, जैसे मैंने बात की, and then you set too many goals. Right? It's impossible to achieve too many goals. And when you go for too many goals, what will happen? Your motivational level will come down after a certain period of time. एक महीने के बाद ही खत्म हो जाएगा, right? Because you will be confusing yourself. खुद ही आप confuse अपने आप को कर लोगे. So you set too many goals. So try and avoid that, right? So you have set too many goals. Now you have set goals that conflict with one another. So conflicting goals, that's as I was telling in the earlier slide. So you've set goals that conflict with one another. So while setting the goals or while setting the resolutions, you need to be very careful in terms of that whatever goals we are setting, whatever resolutions we are writing or intending, right? We need to set those goals and which should not conflict with each other, right? So it should not happen that after a certain point of time they are conflicting and then taking you apart, right? Now you have set too far in the future. It's good to do 5-year planning, 10-year planning, but let's plan only for a year. So sometimes what we do is that हम बहुत planning वाले mode में आ जाते हैं, right? And we plan for let's say ये 5 साल के लिए ऐसे करेंगे, 5 साल के लिए ऐसे करेंगे, 10 साल के लिए ऐसे करेंगे. Let's not do that, right? And let's do short term specifically, right? Let's say कि इस महीने में क्या करेंगे, इस साल में मुझे क्या करना है, right? So let's not go too far away, right? So you have set too far in the future. सबसे बड़ी बात जो हम लैक करते हैं, we are not asking why we are making goals, why we are making resolutions. हमारा why clear नहीं है. Why to do this? Why I am doing this? So wherever the why is not clear, how cannot be easy, or how cannot be defined. So in order to do how, कैसे करना है, resolutions कैसे बनाने हैं, कैसे achieve करने हैं. So if why is not clear, your how is not going to be clear. Very, very true. So we are not asking ourselves कि क्यों, why. And when we need to know our personal reasons for our goal. अगर हमको gym जाना है, तो gym जाने के लिए हमारे पास why होना चाहिए ना. I want to be in shape, right? I want to build muscles, whatever. I want to be more fit, right? And fit in terms of what? It fit in terms of losing weight, body mass index, whatever. So we need to know our personal reasons for our goals. Very, very important. We need to dig deeper and ask ourselves why. But 90% of the cases, we don't do it. Why? We don't ask ourselves why I'm doing it. We are just doing it. Maybe sometimes we are just copying somebody, that person is doing it. So if that person can do, I can also do. His why would be different than yours why. So find out your why. Isn't it? So for instance, if we want to go to the gym, yes, if we want to go to the gym, it's because we want to get in shape, because we want to feel healthier or something else. Find out your why. this is just an example. So in everything, in every resolution, find out your why. If your why is clear, then your resolutions are going to get fulfilled. There's no doubt about it, because you are clear about your why. And when why is clear, then your steps can be defined and the steps can be followed also. Right? Okay. Now, if we know the reason we are making a particular resolutions, we may find that there are other routes. As I said, just right now, said there are other routes to achieving it, and that will be more enjoyable and satisfying for us, and therefore makes us more likely to stick with over long term. Right? And it's very, very important for us. So our resolution itself in the first place is wrong, right? Our why is not clear. If it is clear, then we are aligning with our resolutions, or whatever name you give it dreams, you give it a name of dreams, goals, whatever, right? Okay. Now, yes, of course, the same. Jim Rohn has also said the same thing. If the why is the power, the how is easy. So find out your why. From today itself, start finding out your why. Work on your why. Now, third is we are not ready to change. The bad thing is, or the unfortunate thing is, we are not ready to change. That is why we are not able to realize our resolutions, what we made. We are not ready to change. How? We often stay in the same out of habit, same habits, right? But change can become a habit too, no? If we do it, right? So we don't want, we don't do, in fact, we are never ready for the change, right? So we often stay in the same mode, same habit, right? And that habit ko todna jo hai, it's, that's a very, very difficult task. It cannot be, it is not impossible, right? But as I said earlier, yes, in our comfort zone, the same habit, we are sticking to that, right? And however, when we set big, overwhelming New Year resolutions, we also set up expectations that we are going to turn over an entirely new leaf on January 1. कोई हमने ये बना देना है, right? और इसको हमने overwhelming New Year resolutions बना के, as soon as, और जनवरी में ही जो है 1 जनवरी ऐसा दिन है जब कि सारा हमने बना लेना है. But that thought can be deterrent in achieving your resolution, right? Because we are not coming into that process. We are creating those kind of resolutions which are, of course, as I said, it's not aligned and your why is not clear. And we always want that ki hum isko, January, since we are starting fresh, let's have fresh resolutions, right? And overwhelming resolutions. Now, but real change requires incremental changes. There has to be a process, incremental changes, so we can make ourselves committed with the change and ensure that the change becomes habitual. हमको उस change को habit में लेके आना है, right? And you understand this, that habit doesn't form overnight, right? So पूरे साल हमने कुछ नहीं किया, पूरे साल हमने we just passed by. We started in January, we started in the last week of December, we started thinking that let's make those kind of New Year resolutions to fulfill those goals or resolutions, and we are not prepared for it, right? So but उसके लिए हमें we need to be habitual, no? वो habit develop करनी पड़ेगी. तो the process will start beforehand. The process will not start in January. The process will start 6 months, maybe a year later, a year before. Right? So 6-7 महीने 8 महीने के पहले ही process शुरू हो जाएगा वो. क्योंकि you are in that habit, you are in that comfort zone, you need to come out of that comfort zone. Right? All right. Okay. Now, it's about getting yourself in the habit of doing things, doing new things, और वो habit एकदम से form नहीं होगी, right? So that is why it is falling flat, all your resolutions. It's all about getting yourself in the habit of doing new things, isn't it? Yes or no? New Year might be a good time to create a timeline for the next year and then have a variety of small milestones that help us get a bigger goal over time. So we need to understand this, that we need to achieve smaller milestone first, right? So smaller milestone, you will start achieving one by one, step by step, right? Start achieving those smaller milestone that will take you to the bigger goal, and that will take you to your resolutions to fulfill, and that will also help you to build your habit, and you will also come out of your comfort zone, right? So small milestone, talk about small milestones, always talk about steps, right? Talk about process, right? So be in that rather than be in that process, always be in that process of improvement every time, be in the process of achieving those small steps, right? And be happy about it, right? So that is why we are actually not ready for change, and then we overwhelm ourselves with all the resolutions which we want to do, right? And we don't go ahead with that most of the time, right? How can you be different? But how can you be different, right? You can make a difference. ऐसा नहीं है कि हो नहीं सकता, तो how can you be different, right? So we don't want to be among 90% of the people. We want to be in 10% or 20% of people who achieve their goals or achieve their new resolutions, right? But how can it can be? So how do you make sure you are the among 20% that kept longer than couple of months? 2 महीने में हमको खत्म नहीं करने अपने new resolutions. So how it can be? Focus not on the goal but on the process of change, as I just said. Process of change, be in that process, right? So goal centric approach से process centric approach में आना है, right? So new year resolution often fail because they encourage a goal oriented rather than process oriented approach. So what I am suggesting is be in that process oriented approach, be in that mode, right? That will be a higher chance of achievement of your New Year resolutions or goals, right? And then it's not about achieving a single goal. It's about developing a habit, as I said in the last slide. It's about developing a habit, and that will set you in the to achieve that desired goal, isn't it? Right. So how you make that habit, it's that important. And if you are in the process, then your habits will also be formed, right? And the process of change starts with understanding that a behavior is a product of negative consequences, right? So you need to understand this also, right? So हमारा जो behavior है, and let's understand this, that process of change starts with understanding that a behavior is producing negative consequences, and then comes the internal negotiation, internal dialogue, evaluating the pros and cons of changing. So यहाँ पे मैं change की बात कर रहा हूँ, and change is always difficult, and we are not able to change. That is why our resolutions is falling flat, right? So let's be in that process of change. Let's inculcate those habits of being in the change, right? And start with internal negotiation, internal dialogue, evaluate your pros and cons of changing, right? When you decide to change, then be prepared for that. Then comes preparation, and this is critical. Set yourself for success. That is when your success would be set in terms of actual change, right? So you have to adopt certain processes. There are certain processes of developing new change, developing new habits, developing new perspectives. Then only you will be able to realize your resolutions, right? Otherwise it will be as जैसे पिछले साल हुआ वो इस साल भी होने वाला है. There will not be any change. So what I am suggesting is, let's be in that process of change. And then while I conclude this, I will give you a certain tools in terms of certain stages of change. हम कैसे अपने आप को लेके आ सकते हैं, उसमें हम कहाँ से start कर सकते हैं और कहाँ से कैसे maintain कर सकते हैं. So this is what it is going to be. So follow the stages of change. Follow the stages of change, because by doing this only, you'll be able to realize all your goals or your resolutions, right? Be it the new year or may not be a new year. Let's maybe today, as we talk, we are talking about why new year resolutions fall flat. But at the same time, if we talk about why your dreams or goals fall flat, right? So same thing will happen. So you need to have the same mindset. You need to have the same kind of a process you need to adopt. So follow the stages of change. Very, very important. So there are 5 stages of change. The 5 stages of change which you need to go through, right? So first is pre-contemplation. Pehle, you are starting to become aware that there may be a change, right? So pre-contemplation is very, very important. This awareness is very, very important, right? Something needs to be changed. So ये awareness पहले आनी जरूरी है कि क्या change करना है मुझे. So contemplation से पहले pre-contemplation करनी है. Pre-contemplation. You're starting your awareness level. You थोड़ा-थोड़ा अपना awareness level हमारा बढ़ाना है अपना, right? कि क्या change करना है सबसे पहले. Now, फिर उसके बाद आता है contemplation. Contemplation, you are actually thinking about making a change. Now you are contemplating it, right? You are thinking about it. You are giving a serious thinking on this, right? It is getting into your thinking process. It's getting into your head, right? So pre-contemplation, first that you are getting aware, right? You are starting to become aware. Just the beginning. You are starting to getting that awareness. राइट कहीं से वो क्लिक आ रहा है, कहीं से वो क्लिक हो रहा है कि मुझे चेंज करना है कुछ, राइट? फिर कंटेम्पलेशन मोड में आना है. यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट मेकिंग ए चेंज. नाउ यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट इट, right? You are giving it, your internal dialogue is happening. Some kind of internal negotiation is also happening कि ये हो सकता है, ये नहीं हो सकता है, ऐसे करना है, pros ये हैं, cons ये हैं, something like that, right? So contemplation. Now third is preparation. Then no preparation, as I said, you start putting a plan together to make a change, right? I would suggest, rather than making a new year resolution, make it a all year plan. Make it a plan. Give it a name of a plan, not resolution. Make it a plan. So you prepare yourself accordingly. You start putting a plan together to make a change. So what can be a plan? Plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, whatever, अगर ये मेरा goal है, right? So this is a plan A for me, right? If doesn't happen, if I'm not able to achieve this way, this is a plan B, right? And now B की जगह plan C भी आ सकता है क्या? Something like that. So pre-contemplation, contemplation, and then you are getting prepared. You are preparing yourself. You start putting a plan together to make a change, and then action. Without action, you will not change. So actually, you're making a change when you're doing action. So action is very, very important. Without action, there'll not be anything. There'll not be any movement further, right? So you start action and you actually make the change, right? And after action, you need to maintain that. You determine how to maintain the change. That is your way of maintaining. My way of maintaining would be different than yours, right? But you determined that you are maintaining that change. And that is how these are the stages of change you need to adopt. And once you adopt this process, once you're being in this process, I'm definitely sure, I'm very, very hopeful that your all your resolutions, all your dreams, all your goals, all through year will carry on, and you will take year by year, not only 24, 25, 26, 27, and years to come. Right. So let's start the process of change in this 2024. That can be your goal too, or that can be your resolution too. All right. Okay. So with this, I would conclude my session. Anything which anybody wants to share in the end, I'm open to it. And couple of.
Sir, I'll leave my Healthify yoga session has started. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else want to share anything?
Thank you, Sandeep ji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. You have been You have really motivated me and others and all trainers here every day. That's why I'm consciously positive. That's why I'm never giving up, and I'm gonna win the pageant. Thank
Sure.
you.
Good. Great. Great. Okay. All right. So bye for now. See you soon. Thank you so much. Okay, Shabana ji. Thank you.
Happy New Year, Sandeep ji.
Thank you and
Thank
happy new year
you,
to you
Sandeep ji.
also.
I think Neelam ji was saying something.
हाँ जी नीलम जी बताइए.
नहीं, ये कह रही थी कि आपने जो 21 डेज का 10th मई को आपने किया था,
हाँ जी हाँ जी.
तो वो मैंने 21 डेज का स्टार्ट किया और टिल आई एम डूइंग
Great.
और मुझे लगता है कि वो 21 डेज ही स्टार्टिंग के सबसे बेस्ट होते हैं जो
Best.
आपको आगे ले जाते हैं. तो
Absolutely.
रेजोल्यूशन तो यही है कि कंटिन्यू रखना. और मैं एक्चुअली नॉलेज ये सोच रही थी कि मैं इस पॉजिटिव कॉन्शियस में क्यों हूँ, क्योंकि हमें दिन रात पॉजिटिविटी चाहिए और हम उसको फिल अप
Absolutely.
करते रहते हैं अपने अंदर.
Absolutely. 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 Great.
कि
Great.
वाई का मतलब ये था कि वाई हम वी आर जॉइनिंग दिस
Right.
सेशन.
Right.
थैंक यू फॉर द
Thank you.
मोटिवेशन.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Sandeep ji. Thank
Thank
you,
you, Shabana.
everyone.